Hello, Knock. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. Okay, today we're going to do some writing. Okay, so now the chart below shows the results of a survey about people's coffee and tea buying and drinking habits in 5 Australian cities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so we have our graph. Coffee and tea buying and drinking habits in 5 cities in Australia. Okay, so these are the different cities. Okay, so the black one, bought fresh coffee in the last 4 weeks. Okay, then we have the squares, bought instant coffee in the last 4 weeks. And the gray, went to a cafe for coffee or tea in the last 4 weeks. Okay, do you understand the graph?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I want to make it smaller so we can see the question. Okay, so we can write here next to it. Okay, it needs to be at least 150 words. So how would you start? What's the first thing you see when you look at the graph?
I see the paragraph says about uh, 5 cities. The presence uh, of people buying coffees in five, five, uh, 5 cities in the last 4 weeks.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let's look at the graph though. What do you see? What do most people do? You can see most people.
First, I can see the most people are chewing going to a coffee. I went to a cafe for coffees in all in the 4 cities.
Okay, most
Third,
people in 4 by went to a cafe. Okay. See that the most. Okay, the only city
the
that
only city that's
has
more
more bought
mm,
more people.
more instant coffees than going to a cafe is Adelaide.
Okay, good. Okay, let's say instead of going to a cafe, is in Adelaide. Okay, very good. Let's see. What else do we see? What about the least? In all of the cities, the least common
The the least common is brown fresh coffee.
Drinking habit is buying fresh coffee. Okay.
Sydney and uh, Melbourne
Melbourne.
is
Okay.
Melbourne has the highest percent of buying fresh coffee, about more than 40%, and uh, and
Okay. Above. Let's see. Okay. Above Brisbane, Adelaide, and Hobart. That have a percentage lower than 40. Okay, Sydney and Melbourne have the highest percent of buying fresh coffee. Above, or having more than 40% above Brisbane, Adelaide, and Hobart that have a percent lower than 40. Okay, let's say that are lower than 40%. Okay, very good. Okay, let's talk about bought instant coffee. Okay, we can say in all cities, the percentage of people that bought instant coffee is above 45. And it's quite, and there's not too much up and down. Okay, the percentage of buying instant coffee, let's say, is between 45% and 55. Okay. The percentage. Okay, there is not a big variation in the numbers. Okay, do you understand variation? Like
yes.
it's not a big difference. Okay. What else can you tell me about this graph? Um, okay. Who are the least people that buy coffee altogether?
I I ideally, it is cities that have the people by have the least people that buying coffee.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, sorry, I can see that. Brisbane and Adelaide, they're the lowest. Okay, let's say that buy any coffee. Okay, now we're going to finish it. Okay, let's say the percentage between buying fresh coffee or bought fresh coffee and going to a cafe in all cities is very different. There's a big amount between fresh coffee and coffee in a cafe for all of them. Yeah. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's read it.
Firstly, by looking at the graph, I can see that the more people in four of cities went to a coffee to buy tea or coffee. The only city that has more people that bought instant coffee instead of going to coffee is in Adelaide. In all of cities, the least common drinking hobby is buying fresh coffee. Sydney and
Melbourne.
Melbourne have the highest percent of buying fresh coffee, having more than 40%. About Brisbane, Adelaide and Hobart that are lower than 40%. In all the cities, the percentage of buying instant coffee is between 45 and 55%. There is a big variation in the number of people buying instant coffee. By looking at this graph, I can list that Brisbane and Adelaide have the least number of people that buy any coffee. In all cities, I can see that there is a big difference in the percentage of buying fresh coffee and going to a coffee to buy coffee or tea.
Okay, very good. Okay, I have saved it. You can read through it and learn it. Let's move on to task 2. Okay, write about the following topic. In some countries, owning a home rather than renting one is very important for people. Why might this be the case? Do you think this is a positive or a negative situation? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Okay, this is a big one, 250 words. Okay. Do you understand the question?
Uh, is that
Okay. Okay, let's start. So firstly, do you think, okay, in some countries, owning a home rather than renting one is very important for people. So now let's talk about owning a home. What does that mean? Or what does renting a home mean? Okay, we can start. Okay, let's not say firstly again. Okay, let's say okay, we can say first we can define owning a home and renting a home. Owning a home means okay. What is owning a home? What does that mean?
is I think is mean
That okay, a
that a
person
person
has
will
bought
pay has bought the house
and the property.
and
Okay, and
uh, and that person must pays money for internet, water, uh, and other things.
okay, for electricity and water. Okay, that person's still okay. Let's say some people are able to pay for their house in full. Okay, so they give all the money and then it's their house. But other homeowners have to take a loan from the bank to pay for their house monthly. Okay, and will eventually own it. Oh, okay, do you understand, Knock?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then we have renting. Renting a house means that
Renting a house means that a person must pay money for
for living in their
for
house.
living. Uh, and the person that renting a house don't have to pay uh, any money for electric and water.
Okay, and let's say extra. Electricity and water. Okay, let's say renting a house is much cheaper than owning a house. Uh, Okay? Okay, now let's talk about why do you think some people think it's more important to own a house?
I think some people think it is more important to own a house because uh, people can living more comfortable
Okay,
and
comfortably.
they can do anything they want.
Okay, anything they want to the house, such as painting, such as painting it, hanging up pictures, or adding on to it. Okay, good.
Uh,
Now we can also
and
talk about like socially. Some people think that they are like people will like them more if they own a house because it's like a status. It shows that they have lots of money. Okay, do you agree?
yes, I agree.
Okay, so let's say some people believe that owning a house shows a high status in society by telling they own a house. It may look like they have a lot of money. Okay, by telling or showing. Okay, let's look over here. Do you think it is a positive or a negative situation? Do you think it's good or bad that people think it's important? You can say in some ways it's positive, in some ways it's negative. Oh, wait. Okay, I want to add one more thing. If you own a house, then when you die one day, then your family still has a house to live in. Okay, do you understand?
Yes,
Okay, so let's say it is important to some people to own a house so that they can leave it for their family. Okay, knowing that's their family will always be safe and have a house. Okay, now let's talk about the positive and negative. Okay, there are some positive um, okay, there are some positive outcomes for owning a house, such as
uh,
of
the people
Okay, we can say almost like what we've said already. The comfortable, the comfort, and okay. Okay, do you want to add something?
It is good for the people that like to live alone because if we renting a house, there maybe the owner of the house will renting that house for more than one person.
Yes, okay. It's good for people that like to live alone. Let's say if people are renting, they may have to share with other people. Okay, what are the negatives? Some negative outcomes of the situation may be that not many people can afford it. Okay, or that other people should not judge on how much money you have. Okay, do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you rent your house or do you own your house? In your family?
I
Do
living
you
in uh, uh, my parents has bought this house about 11 years ago.
Okay. Let's say such as my parents who bought their okay, let's an example is my parents who bought their house 11 years ago. Okay. And we have happily lived here for a long time. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think that's enough writing. Are you ready to read it for me, Nock?
Yes. First, we can define owning a home and renting a home. Owning a home means that a person has bought the house and the property that
Property is the
person still
whole, like the garden and everything. Property.
a
Okay?
person has bought the house. Yes. And the property that person still pays money for electricity and water. Some people are able to pay for their house in full, but other homes owners have to take a loan from the bank to pay for their house monthly,
Monthly.
uh, monthly, and will eventually out it. Renting a house means that a person pays money to the owner for living in their house. The person who is renting often doesn't have to pay extra for electricity and water. Renting a house is much cheaper than owning a house. Some people think it is more important to own a house because they can live more comfortably and can do anything they want to the house, such as painting it, hanging up pictures, or adding on it. Some people believe that owning a house shows a high status in society, but or showing other people they own a house. It may look like they have a lot of money.
Okay, very good. It is
Uh,
important.
it is important to some people to own a house so they can live uh, it for their family, knowing that their family will always be safe and have a house. An example is my parents who bought their house 11 years ago, and we have happily lived here for a long time. There are some positive outcomes of owning a house, such as the comfort and leaving it to the family. It is good for people that uh, like to live alone. If people are renting, they may have to share with other people. Some negative outcome from of the situation may be that not many people can afford to buy a house, or that other people should not check on how much money you have.
Okay, very good. Well done, Ngoc. Do you understand everything? Are you happy with everything?
Just I'm happy.
Okay, there's nothing you don't understand. Okay, I've saved it. I will send it to you so you can write it. Okay, let's see. What else do we have to do? Okay, we finished that one. We can practice some speaking, but first let's come back. Okay.